Hey, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the John DeVito Show. It is Saturday morning, and I'm actually recording a special podcast this morning where we're going to be talking about some of the things we need to do in life to achieve our dreams. So it is Saturday morning, 8:45, and for once we don't have baseball in the DeVito home. And I apologize for my voice. I'm dealing with a pollen allergy, so if I sound a little stuffed up, that's why I sound the way I do. But anyway, I wanted to talk today about goals in life, and basically I've got 10 ways to help you achieve your life term goals. So here we are, we're coming out of the pandemic. The mask mandates are being released, states are getting back to normal. People are wanting to, I guess, go back to work and get back to their normal life. So people, I think, right now are really anxious about achieving some of the things they want to do moving forward. So, it's hard sometimes. We've been through a long period of time, over a year, where a lot of people have been, home, not working. They've been laid off. They've been forced in a lot of different ways to kind of redefine their lives. So for me, I've been thinking a lot about some of the things that people may be struggling with right now in their day-to-day lives, because right now it's a time of anxiety. If you've lost your job, I mean, who knows? You could be in your mid-50s. You had a company lay you off and you've been doing the same thing for many, many years. And now you're faced upon this point in your life where, you're a little bit older in the workforce, and you're trying to find a way to, I guess, spend maybe the next 10, 15, 20 years of your life, and you're not ready to retire yet. So, there's a lot of different things that affect, I think, the way people are feeling right now. I mean, you may be a young person who's 14, 15 years old, who's trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? Am I going to, become a doctor? Am I going to become a lawyer? Do I want to go into business? Do I want to be an athlete? There are so many different choices that you can make in your life. And I think one of the most important things you have to realize is that basically anything that you want to do is achievable if you're willing to work for it. If you love it, if you believe in yourself, and if you have an undying passion for going after your dreams, you can succeed. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to choose something that you absolutely love to do, and you have to be willing to give 100% of everything you have. Now, in life, there are going to be times in which you fail. I mean, it's part of life. For me, when I was younger, I was an athlete, and I was a baseball player. I played football. I played basketball. Now, I was never going to be a great basketball player, but I was a good baseball player, and I was a good football player. And for me, I had goals of, I wanted to play either in, Major League Baseball, or I wanted to play in the NFL. And, did I really have, I guess, at a younger age, the plans that I needed to achieve those goals? Not really. I wasn't organized. I didn't have a set plan. I think I spent too much time dreaming about achieving the goal and not coming up with a plan and working to achieve that goal. For me, I was fortunate where I did play college football. I got a scholarship to a Division I college. I played football, but I wasn't good enough to play in the NFL. I just wasn't big enough. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't good enough. I topped out in college, and that was pretty much, where my football career ended. And that's okay. For me, I had a goal of playing in the NFL, and I did work very hard. I spent a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time working out, and I got to a certain point in my career where I just didn't have the talent to go further. And, some may look at that as being a failure, and I guess technically it is. But for me, I gave everything I had. I got to the highest level that I could achieve with the talent that I had, and I didn't have what it took to move forward. And for me, as you look at that as maybe being a failure, it's also a learning experience where you can learn from your failures in life. You can learn from the areas in which you don't quite achieve the goal that you set out. And then when you move forward in your life, you can actually, come up with a goal and a plan for other dreams that you might have, and work better, work smarter and work more intelligently to achieve that next goal in your life. So, failure for a lot of people out there is a very debilitating thing, where you go out, you're afraid of failure. You don't want to take a risk. You'd rather not try than fail. And I'm here to tell you that failure is a very, very, very important part of being successful. If you are not willing to put yourself out there and willing to fail, then you're not going to get the successes in your life, because you're not going out and risking and putting everything into something and, really reaching for those far out dreams that a lot of people don't feel are even possible in your life. So, failure, no one likes it, but if you do fail, and everyone that's listening to me, if you're really going after it in life, you're going to fail. I mean, that's just part of life. Failure is a part of life, but you have to take that failure and learn from it and move forward and come up with a better plan and, do whatever you can in your next opportunity to get past the same roadblocks that caused failure the first time around. So for the people out there listening, whether you're young, whether you're old, don't be afraid of failure. Embrace failure. Go out there and keep trying and going after things. I mean, the most successful people in life over and over again have failed and failed and failed until finally they kept at it, kept developing plans, and achieved success because of their persistence. Okay, so I've got a list here that I'm going to read off, 10 ways in which you can achieve your life goals. Now, if you're a young person listening right now, say you're 12, 13, 14 years old, you're 22 years old, you're 30 years old, whatever you may be, one of the most important things you can do in your life, if you have a career goal, if you have a life goal, it could be a family goal. Maybe you want to have a family with, 5 children. You need to plan. You need to have a plan. You can't just sit back and hope and dream and say, well, maybe I'll be blessed with this. Praying is good. Asking for blessing is good. But honestly, the people that achieve their life goals are the people that find something they love to do. They develop a plan. They have strategies, and then they work that plan. So if you're willing to find something you really love doing and you want to go after it with everything you have, then don't make any excuses. Set that plan and work the plan. And the plan is something that's important. But keep in mind that your plan is going to change over time. I mean, if you have a set plan, you may find certain aspects of your plan are not working, and you may have to make changes to that plan in order to achieve your goal. So always be willing to adjust the plan that you have. Okay. So anyway, if you're struggling to realize your dreams, let's look at these 10 points that help get you going in the right direction. All right. So here are some tips that you can use. And these are 10 tips that will help you achieve whatever goal, whatever dream, whatever thing in life that you want to accomplish. And again, keep in mind, this doesn't have to be a career goal. This can be anything. It could be, like I said, having a family. It could be maybe losing weight. It could be, I don't know, lifting weights and, getting into top physical form. It could be having a better relationship with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse. So these goals can help you in a lot of different ways. All right. So the number one thing I think on this list, and this is very, very important, you have to choose goals that inspire you. And, this, I can't emphasize enough how important this is. To give you an example, suppose you're living with your parents, say your father's a lawyer, your mother is a homemaker, whatever, and there's a lot of pressure on you to become a lawyer. So consider that you've been talking to your dad. Your dad thinks you should become a lawyer. You can make good money. It's a very good career field to go into, but for whatever reason, that's not your dream. That's maybe your father's dream. Maybe your dream is you want to be a college softball player. You want to be a teacher, whatever it may be. So you can't basically choose your dreams based on what other people want for you. And that's so important because you have parents, especially if you're younger, you have parents that care about you. They love you and they want the best for you in your life. So they're going to try to assist you and point you in certain directions and help to motivate you. And the one thing I always tell my children is, I've got 4 children, 3 of them are teenagers right now. And the one thing I try to do is I try not to force them into some of the missed dreams that I have. I mean, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to be a professional baseball player. I was a very good baseball player. I made some bad decisions in my teenage years. I got distracted and ended up not going after my dream in the way in which I should. So my 2 youngest play baseball, and I've told them every day, they play travel baseball. They both say they want to play in the major leagues, but I tell them regularly, listen, you have to understand that this needs to be your dream. If you do not love baseball, then you do not need to play baseball. If you want to do something else, whatever it may be, that's your call, it's your choice, but you have to determine what's important to you in your life. Now, if you love baseball and that's what you want to do, Dad will support you every step of the way. I will pay for travel teams. I will get you lessons. I will write letters to college coaches. I will do whatever I can to try to help you achieve your goal. But if you come to me and say, Dad, you know what? I don't love baseball. It's more your dream than mine. This isn't what I want to do. I want to be a, doctor. Awesome. I want to be an actor. Awesome. My oldest son, Matt, he wants to be an actor. He's not a sports guy. We have been supporting him, getting him acting lessons. He's been in 10 plays. We've helped him get into a movie. So no matter what my children want to do, my job is not to push them into what I want to do. It's to help support them grow into the goals maybe that they have. So, if by chance, if you're a child and you're listening to this and your parents, it seems like your parents are pushing you in a certain direction, it could be that they're just trying to support you. They're trying to help you. They're trying to give you guidance. But you, if you're doing something that you don't love and you're doing it to please your parents, you will never truly be good at it. Whether it's a sport, whether it's a career, whatever it is, you need to do some soul searching, find out what's important to you, and figure out what is going to make you happy in your life. Because if you can find something that doesn't feel like work, and it's more like a hobby, it's more like fun, it's something that inspires you, then you are going to pursue that with vigor, and you're going to want to be good at it. And, when people are saying you have to work hard at whatever this is that you've chosen, then it's for you, it's not going to feel like work because you're doing something you love. So there's nothing worse than in life when the night before you have to go to work or the night before you're playing a sport, if you're laying in bed and you're unhappy that you have to get up and do that said job or that said sport. Life's too short for that. You need to find things that inspire you, that make you happy, that bring joy to your life. And if you find that type of activity, whatever it may be, then embrace it, set a plan, and go after it. But choose goals that inspire you. Find something that you love, and then do not relent until you get it. Don't relent. Go after it, set those goals, work those goals, and don't take no for an answer. Keep going and keep going and keep going until you achieve those goals. During the course of my life, I've met a lot of very, very successful people. And the one common thing I have realized about most of these people that I've met, these are people that have become very famous, very rich. The majority of them have the one intangible quality that's very similar to the others, where they have that attitude where they do not take no for an answer. They persist and persist and persist. They embrace rejection. They're gritty and they don't quit. That is so, so important for achieving your goals. So anyway, going ahead. That's number one on the list. I think for me, that's so important. You need to find something that inspires you. All right. Number two is be proactive. Life goals are the ones that you dream about happening one day, but never today. The approach has to change if you want to make things happen. You need to stop scrolling through social media, wishing that you had that job, wishing that you could be famous like so-and-so, or just, dreaming that maybe someday these things are going to happen. If you sit back and you're patient, someone's going to discover me. Someone will find me. You can't rely on that. Be proactive. And when I say be proactive, that means whatever your goal is, no one is going to hand it to you. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. You need to go after it with everything you have. If you go after it with everything you have, and you prepare and you study and you work your plan, then maybe that goal might happen for you. But if you sit back, you're looking through social media, why can't I be famous like so-and-so? This TikTok star has, 1.5 million followers. I've got 80. Why is that so? When am I going to be lucky? It's not about luck. It's about being proactive, finding a dream you love, and working hard to achieve that dream. Okay. Now, this next one is very important, very, very, very important, where in life, so many people are negative. You have a lot of people in this life that are glass half empty type of people. They don't believe anything good is going to happen to them. They came from the wrong family. My family's never been successful. We have generations of people that the dreams haven't come true. That is all a loser mentality. You need to have positivity in your life. You need to wake up every day with the attitude, I can do it. I can succeed. Today's going to be a great day. Maybe yesterday wasn't my day, but today is the day I'm going to get up. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to pursue my dream, and I'm going to make something happen. I am good enough. I am smart enough. I'm attractive enough. I'm talented enough. I am driven enough. You have to believe in yourself that you can achieve anything. You have to be optimistic and think that good things can happen to me. If I work hard and I go after it, I am good enough. Most times in life, the ceilings that people deal with in their lives are placed there by themselves. There are ceilings that you put up in your own lives. There are barriers that you put up that limit the things that you accomplish in your life. And these are self-driven barriers. You need to tear these barriers down and realize that in your life, there is no barrier other than the ones you create for yourself. If you tear down those glass ceilings, tear down those walls, and believe that you can achieve your dream, whether you want to be a movie star, whether you want to be a baseball player, whether you want to be, a corporate guy that makes millions of dollars, whether you want to be the CEO of a company, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it may be, you need to believe in yourself and believe that you have the talent within yourself. Your family does not define who you are. If your parents, didn't live their dreams and have jobs that they don't love, they may be doing their best, but that doesn't define the person that you are. You are your own person. What your grandparents did, what your parents did, what your brother or sister did, none of those things matter. The only things that matters is you believing that you can achieve your dreams and going after it. And you have to be positive. You have to eliminate the negativity in your life. One of the best books I read, even though he wasn't a very good professional basketball coach, Rick Pitino coached the Boston Celtics for a while, and he's been a very good college basketball coach. Some people like him, other people don't. But I do remember the one phrase that he had for the negative people in the world, and I still think of this phrase today. I read his book called Success is a Choice. I love the book. It helped me in my life immensely in my work career. And one of the things he called the negative people out there, basically has a term for them, but he called them the fellowship of the miserable. There are so many people in this world that don't believe they can achieve their dreams, that don't believe they have the talent to achieve their dreams, that don't believe they're good enough to live a life of victory and success. And these people end up bad-mouthing the people that have become successful. They're going after their dreams, and they really are considered the fellowship of the miserable, because you have a lot of unhappy people that have fallen short of the life they felt they would have because they didn't have a plan. They didn't work that plan, and they didn't believe they could achieve their dreams if they really went after it, and they settled. So you have to find a way in your life to eliminate the negativity and go after the positive things in your life and believe that you can achieve the different things that you want to do. So eliminate that negativity, be positive, go after it, and believe that you can do it. Okay. Now, another one that's important is you have to be balanced in your life also. It is very easy that once you set your goals and you start working your goals, that you might become obsessed with your goals. Now, this is a tough one, because in order to achieve a lot of things that you want to do in life, like for instance, if you want to be a professional baseball player, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to play a lot of baseball. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to work with coaches. I mean, probably today, if you're a young kid, you want to play on an AAU or a travel team, and you're going to have to play a lot of baseball. An example for one of my sons today is my son had a baseball game last night. He's got a game tomorrow, which is Sunday, and he had an option of playing 2 games today with another team. So the coach asked us, does Brandon want to play 2 games today? And I asked him, and he probably would have played, but I looked at him, I said, listen, today's Saturday. It's going to be a nice day. Why don't you take today off, run around the neighborhood with your friends, play and be a little kid, which he's going to do today. So I think that, you can become very obsessed with going after your goal, but you have to achieve balance in your life. I mean, for instance, if you're a career mother or a career father, you could be working 80 hours a week. You could be traveling all over the country. You could be working your backside off to achieve that dream of becoming a CEO of a company by the time you're 40. But if you've got 3 children at home and you've got a wife at home or a husband at home, you have to realize too that you need to have some balance in your life, because you could end up becoming that CEO of the company. But next thing you know, your kids are going off to college and you haven't been to any of their sporting events. You haven't been in their lives and you haven't been present. So you have to make sure that even though you work your dream hard, you have to find a way to be balanced. So, not everything, not all the eggs are put in that basket, because there are other things in life that are important, like family and whatnot. So make sure that if you are working that dream, that you find time in your life for other things other than just pursuing the dream, because it is easy to get obsessed sometimes with those things. Now, one of the most important things in achieving a dream is you have to come up with a plan. And no one likes to plan. I mean, I shouldn't say no one. I don't like to plan. So I guess when I say I don't like to plan, that means everyone doesn't like to plan. But you really need to come down with a workable plan. Now, let's say, for instance, you want to become a movie star. All right, I want to be a famous movie star. I want to be an actor. I want to be in films. I want to be in Hollywood. I want to make millions of dollars. That's what I want for my life. I love being on stage. I love entertaining people. Okay, so how are you going to do it? All right, you are 12 years old and you want to become a movie star. Okay, how do you get there? How do you become that movie star? Have you done any acting, or are you just looking at people who are famous on TikTok and Instagram and you just want to have 1 million followers and you want to be famous? Or do you truly want to be a master of the craft of acting? Because let's face it, if you want to be in Hollywood and if you want to be a movie star, you need to be at the best and at the top of your craft. You need to be a very, 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 very good actor. And how do you become a very good actor? You need to study acting. You need to start by taking acting classes. Talk to your parents about finding a local group where you could take acting classes. Sometimes I know, like in my area, I live near Boston. There are groups like Boston Casting that cast for movies. They actually offer acting classes. So you could go into this place like Boston Casting. You could sign up for acting classes. And some of the people who cast movies are teaching these acting classes. So you go in and you take acting. You take your classes. You learn how to do it. And then who knows, if you're good, maybe one of these casting directors notices you and said, you might be right for a role in this. But then, in addition to just taking acting classes, one of the first things you should do is maybe join a local theater. Start getting into plays, start acting. I know that my son, who wants to be an actor, he's now been in, I think, roughly 10 plays. He's now been in a movie. And it's about getting better at what you do, because the people that are in Hollywood, they didn't wake up one day and just say, oh, I want to be famous. They have worked for years at becoming very good at what they do. They took acting classes. They were in theater. Some of them were on Broadway. Some of them went to, top colleges to study dramatic arts and acting. So, just to sit back and say, well, I want to be famous or I want to be an actor, that's not going to be enough. You need to come up with your plan for the next year, for the next 5 years, and for the next 10 years, and come up with a plan is how you are going to work to achieve your goal. You have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you just sit back and you wish and hope, it's not going to happen. So break down that plan, set your goals, and you can have small goals. I mean, if you've never been in a play and you've never been in an acting class, and you think you want to be an actor, try a school play. Try, every community has community theaters. Find a community theater and do a small play. Get a small little role to start with and see if you like it. You may find out that you get into acting and maybe it's not for you. Now, for me, I've been in 6 movies, and I can tell you that when you're on set in a movie, it's very glamorous when you go see a movie, and it's very glamorous when you see people walking the red carpet. But when you're on set and you're filming a movie, you may do the same scene 30 times over, and you may be on set for 12 hours in a day, and you may work like literally 20 minutes out of that 12 hours. So it can be a very arduous process, and it's very, very hard to break into. So it's probably good to test out whether or not you truly like what you're doing. But if you love it, then those acting classes and the plays that you're in and going to college to study acting, that's not going to be a task. It's going to be something you love to do and you want to do, but you got to come up with the plan. Without a plan, you're just hoping and wishing, and very few people who hope and wish achieve their dreams. You need to have a plan, and you need to work that plan to achieve your goals, okay? Something I talked about earlier, I've already talked about this a little bit, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but embrace failure. You got to embrace it. You are going to fail over and over and over again. Look at the life of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed over and over and over again in his life, and then finally he was elected president. Thomas Edison, he tried to invent the light bulb that we have today. And he tried literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times, and it didn't work. And he failed, and he couldn't figure it out. And I still remember that at one point someone asked him the question, boy, you really failed a lot at creating the incandescent light bulb. How did you get past that? And it was kind of funny. His response was, I didn't fail. I just found dozens of ways not to make a light bulb. So he had a really good attitude where he embraced his failure. All the things that didn't work, he would chalk it up. He would make notes. He would go back to the drawing board and come up with a plan that did work. And eventually he was able to create the light bulb, and we all live in light now because of him, because he embraced his failure and wasn't afraid of it. So embrace your failure, wear it like a badge. Don't be ashamed of it. Everybody fails. And just remember, when you fail, don't just fail, throw up your arms and say, okay, well, I failed. Maybe next time. Look at why you failed. Analyze why you failed and come up with a plan to beat that failure next time around so you achieve instead of failing. Learn from your failures, all right? Another one on this list here, it says, you should tell everybody what your goals are. I mean, it's a good idea, but you have to make sure that if you go out and tell everybody, if you tell your parents, tell your friends, and tell everybody, hey, I'm going to be a movie star, but then 3 days from now, hey, I want to be a homemaker. Then a week later, hey, I want to be a softball player. And then a month later, hey, I want to be a lawyer. Make sure that if you're telling everybody what your dream is, it's actually going to be your dream. You're developing a plan and you're really going to go after it. Because if you just change your mind week to week to week, which is okay, then you're telling people all these different dreams that you have. And you might want to make sure that before you tell everybody and their brother that, I'm going to be a famous psychiatrist, make sure that, that is actually the path you want to go. But it doesn't hurt to tell people that this is going to be my dream, because especially the people that are close to you, parents, siblings, they will try to hold you to that dream and help you achieve it. So make sure that if you are telling people that you have a dream, tell people who are going to help and nurture you along, as opposed to be negative influences for your dream, because you will run into people in your life that don't want you to succeed. You may have friends that are very close to you that you feel are good friends, but they're going to be, they aren't going to be helping you. They're going to be looking to detract from you. They're going to be looking to set little traps so you don't succeed, because there are a lot of people out there that are afraid of failure. They're afraid of success. And if they're living a very average life and they see that you're about to do something very extraordinary, they may sabotage you in order to prevent you from, living your dream. Now, what's an example of that? Okay, I want to be a Major League Baseball player. I'm a good baseball player. I want to play for the Red Sox someday, okay? Then you have friends that are around you who look at you and go, well, it's a 1 in a million shot. You might not be good enough. I mean, maybe you should, set your sights on something a little bit more realistic. Playing in the MLB is almost impossible. You're never going to make it. When you hear things like that, and that goes back to one of the earlier things we talked about, the negativity. When you hear things like that, that's easy sometimes to take the wind out of your sails, where you're like, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe playing in the major leagues is impossible. I can't do that. I should probably be rational, and maybe I should just plan on being a teacher, because I'm probably not going to be a Major League Baseball player. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a teacher. A lot of people, that is their number one dream. They want to be teachers. It is one of the most difficult jobs in the world, and I give credit to anybody that takes it on, because you don't get paid a ton of money and you change the world by educating children. But you don't want to be deciding what your dreams are as a fallback, because what's going to happen now if you want to achieve a dream and then you're like, well, I can't go after being a baseball player. I'm just going to be a teacher. Then if you do that, are you going to be a happy teacher, or are you going to be a teacher that felt like you settled to become a teacher? And then you're never going to be a really good teacher, right? So if you want to be a baseball player and you go after it and you're not good enough, that's okay. I think most people can sit back and understand, okay, well, I gave it everything I had and my talent just wasn't good enough. Then you move on to something else that you may want to do. At that point, you say, you know what? I really love working with kids. Maybe I could be a teacher. Then you set your goal to do that, and you're going to be a great teacher because you've chosen it, because it's something you really want to do, not a fallback. So if you have a dream, if your little voice is telling you, I want to be an actor, I want to be a baseball player, I want to be a softball player, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, whatever it may be, go after it. Listen to your little voice. You can achieve it. Go after it and believe in yourself, and don't give up until, you get there. Now, I talked about this also, getting help from people. Now, that's one thing as a parent I'm willing to do. whatever my kids tell me they want to do. My son Matt wants to be an actor. My daughter Caitlin wants to be a doctor. My youngest two want to be baseball players. We are going to do everything in our power to help support them to achieve those goals. We're going to help them, support them. If they need money for acting lessons or baseball lessons, we're going to help them because we want to achieve them, to see them achieve their goals. And if you have people like that in your life, people that you can trust that will help you, then bring them in to help you, because no one achieves things by themselves. It's always good to have help. So if you have people in your life that are supportive, bring those people in, welcome them to the party, and ask them for help. This is what I want to do. Can you help me? And, maybe your parents don't know exactly how to help you. If you want to be a baseball player and neither one of your parents play sports, they may not know the best way to help you. So if your parents don't have the knowledge, find a baseball coach, find a mentor, find someone that can help and give you advice on the best ways of achieving your goal. Okay? Get help, because it's really hard to do it by yourself. Another thing that's important is always tracking your progress. So as you're working your plan, as you have this plan, make sure you keep track of your plan. Are your acting lessons making you better? The theater group that you in, are you getting better parts? Are you starting to become a better actor? If you find that maybe your progress isn't where it needs to be, or if you have some bad habits, or if you've hit a wall with your career, with your marriage, with your attempt to lose weight, whatever it may be, then it's time to maybe look at your plan and adjust your plan. That's the good thing about a plan. It's never a final document. It's one of those things where you can always adjust it and you can always make changes to make your plan better. So always track your progress, see if you're getting better, see if you're getting the results that you want. And if you're not, don't be afraid to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new plan. All right. And you've probably heard a lot about this in the past also, is the power of visualization. Now, this is something I talk to my kids about this when they play sports. When you go up to the plate and you're hitting, you can't go up to the plate saying, oh boy, this pitcher's throwing really fast. He's got a good curveball. I probably can't hit this guy. If that's going to be your attitude going up to the plate, then you're probably going to strike out. You need to go up to the plate. And when I say the plate, this could be anything. You have to get on stage. You have to go to the gym. If you're going to be on a diet, if you're going to be working on your marriage, whatever it may be, you have to visualize the end result. So if you're getting up at the plate and you want to hit a guy that's throwing gas, you need to visualize, I'm a good hitter. I'm going to keep my head on the baseball. I'm going to drive that baseball someplace hard. I can do this. I am good enough. And you have to believe in yourself. And you have to visualize that success of you hitting that baseball and driving it. If you want to have a conversation with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, and you want to improve your marriage or your relationship, you have to visualize that end result of having that happy relationship. And you have to go into the conversations with that person with the end result of having a happier relationship as a result of your conversation. If you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever it may be, in order to start that diet and start working out, you have to visualize what you want to look like at the end. If you want to be healthier, if you want to be more fit, if you want to look better, you have to visualize. So this is something that's so important, that in order to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams, you have to be able to visualize your success and the end result as to where you're going to be someday. So anyway, those are just some of the things I've seen over the course of my life. I've been at life for a while now. I'm 53 years old. I've had a lot of failures and I've had some successes. And I can say that through a lot of the self-reflection I've done, through a lot of the investigation I've done when I've met very successful people and how they've achieved in their lives, these are the things you have to do to achieve your goal. So if you're young, if you're old, if you're just coming out of the pandemic and you're not sure, what direction your life is going right now, maybe you lost a job, maybe you want to try something new, maybe you want to try to achieve a goal, it's never too late. It's never too late. If you're 40 years old and you want to be a movie star, take acting classes, go after it. You never know. You could get your break 6 months from now, 6 years from now. But the problem is if you continue to wait and you continue to sit back and you continue not to pursue your dreams, then you're going to have that feeling inside where you're failing and you're not trying to go after the things you want. One thing I'm learning very quickly is I'm 53 years old. This life, guys, goes by in a hurry. It goes by quick. It flies by. It doesn't wait for anybody. And if you have something you really want to do, believe in yourself, Write down the dreams. Start today. Start tomorrow. Don't wait till next week or next month, because next month, next week, that turns into next year. That turns into the following year. Next thing you know, a decade's passed and you still haven't gone after it. Life is too short not to pursue your dreams. Go after them with everything you have. Believe in yourself. Come up with a plan. Eliminate negativity from your life, and make sure you have people in your corner that are willing to help you and not sabotage you. But if you have a little voice that's talking to you all the time about, I want to do something. I want to be a baseball player. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to lose some weight. I want to have a better relationship. I want to be a better father or a better mother. Then start doing it today. Don't wait, because you don't know how many days you have left on this planet. Tomorrow is never a guarantee. All you have is today. So don't be afraid. Take that fear and kick it to the curb. Get rid of it. Wrap up the fear, put it in the bag, throw it in the trash. Go after it. Don't worry about embarrassing yourself, about making mistakes. We all do it. Embrace mistakes, embrace failure, and go out there and give it your best, because you never know. If you go after your dream, you might actually achieve it. But if you sit on the couch and you're scrolling through TikTok and scrolling through Instagram, wishing you were somebody else, or wishing you could achieve dreams and hoping someone, a lightning bolt comes out of the sky and hits you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way. Come up with your plan, go after your dream, and work your ass off. Succeed. Go after it. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. Be relentless, be persistent, be gritty, and those things are going to be the things that take you to the point where you can achieve your dream and achieve that life goal. Okay? So this is John DeVito. I'm going to be doing a series of these short podcasts talking about some of the things you can do to maybe improve your life. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can listen to this on all the major podcasting platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc., etc. So I hope all of you have a great day. And hey, start today. Go out and start achieving those dreams. Take care, everybody. Love you all.